welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to be with me and my guests. I greatly appreciate it. Well, I have another terrific show for you today. We're going to highlight the Madison Arts Barn, which is located in Madison, Connecticut, and Robyn Klaskin, the executive director, is my guest today. And Robyn, thank you so much for being with us. I know you're busy, so I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, why don't we go back and let the viewer get to know you? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I have been volunteering and working at the Arts Barn for like the last decade. Prior to being the executive director here at the barn, I spent time working at or volunteering at the Madison Youth and Family Services. I sat on their board. I'm a family law attorney focusing on dispute resolution and family matters. I have a small practice in Madison, but I have a passion for working with kids, empowering them, and so I wandered in here 11, 12 years ago and have fallen in love with this place and have been here ever since.
Did you know growing up or coming into adulthood that this is something that you'd like to pursue, being not very much a performer, but on the other side of the business end?
Working with because we're a small nonprofit, working with a nonprofit has been something that I've grown to love in more recent years. It came about through working with the Madison Arts Barn and trying to figure out how to help them do what they were doing. So it kind of grew into it.
For those that are watching us now, the viewers that are thinking about pursuing the industry such as you're in right now, what kind of advice could you give them as to how they can proceed to be able to be doing what you're doing? Is there a process that you went through?
So, volunteering at an organization is the best way to kind of get your feet wet, understand what the organization's about, see if it's a good fit for you. There's all different types of organizations. I happen to be interested in working with youth, but there's many nonprofits that you could get started with, and once you get a feel for it, you find a place that fits for you, then you can kind of work to see how you can further their mission.
I was reading our local newspaper and I came upon the Madison Arts Barn and a wonderful function that you were having, which we'll talk about. But I didn't know that you exist. Why don't you tell us the history and tell us more about the Madison Arts Barn?
Okay. Yeah, that is a problem, trying to get the word out, so I appreciate you having us here. The organization actually became incorporated back in 1997. There was a group of youth-conscious people in Madison who felt that there was a lot of opportunities for sports for kids in the area, but felt that there needed to be a little bit more opportunity in the arts and entertainment sectors. So they got together, they incorporated, they found many wonderful backers, and raised a lot of money, and then went to the town of Madison and asked if they could use the Madison Arts Barn, which is a town-owned building, to run programs for youth out of that building. And in 1999, they had got permission to use the building, had raised enough money to renovate the building, to put in a stage and lighting and sound equipment, and they opened their doors back in 1999, and as of 2020, we've had over 80,000 participants in programs and events here. So
now, when I hear the Madison Arts Barn and I'm hearing you say a building, is it indeed not a barn? It is a building, and what does it look like?
It is a building, and it's a one-floor building. We actually share our building with the cable station here in the community cable access in Madison. They occupy one side of the building, and we occupy the majority of the building. And when you walk in, it's a big main room, which is where our stage is and our sound equipment. We have gaming tables set up for the kids to play with. We have different different areas where we keep props and costumes and craft items and things like that. And then we have our little offices in the back. But basically, it's one big community room where the theater is, and it's an open stage type of a theater. So we don't have a curtain. We just have a big stage, and we have an audience on the floor. We don't have seating set up. We have to set up seating for the events. But we can house, prior to COVID, we could house about 150 people in the venue to watch a theater production, or have close to 200 people or so if it wasn't a seated event.
Now you're mentioning COVID. Why don't we talk about what your facility, what you folks were going through prior to COVID, and then I'd like to show some pictures. How are things going there beforehand, before COVID hit?
So prior to COVID, we were very self-sufficient. We would have very big, successful events, community events, theater projects. We, for the past 14 years, have done a really cute daddy-daughter dance that gets about 300 families. The picture you're looking at right now is one of our theater productions. We do large-scale musicals. This was Beauty and the Beast, and we work with kids from anywhere from, we've had as young as 5 years old in a production all the way up to 18. Our main target is middle and high school kids, but we do things for the younger kids as well. This is again another picture from Beauty and the Beast. This is from Into the Woods. This was another production that we did. We have kids all up and down the shoreline. They're not just Madison residents that come to our programs. We have kids all over. We've had kids from as far as Southington come. This one is again from Beauty and the Beast. Oh no, I'm sorry, that one's from Into the Woods. I get them confused. So we do these big scale musicals, usually twice a year, one in the fall and one in the spring. This was the musical Elf that we did. And these musicals have anywhere from probably a minimum of 25 kids to our last production prior to COVID was The Little Mermaid. We had over 60 kids. What you're looking at here is one of our camps. They were working on an art project. We do summer camps, like day camps, and each week is a different theme. This is another picture from one of our theater productions. We have wonderful volunteers and staff that make incredible costumes and work with the kids, and we're very, very fortunate to have a lot of people who believe in our mission of empowering youth through the arts, and the productions really come out quite amazing. We have a very large screen. We're able to incorporate a lot of video into it. This is our little cafe. We do social dances for the kids, or used to before COVID, and we have a little cafe. This is a picture of one of our daddy-daughter dances where it's just really, really adorable to see all the dads and their little girls. And we'll have girls anywhere from 2 years up to probably like 14 or 15 is when they stop coming with their dads. This is just another one. We usually come up with a theme and we decorate the building. So what you're looking at is the main floor in the Madison Arts Barn, which is, if we had a theater production, as to where our seating would be. And then we clear out. That is our stage. Behind it, the white thing is our screen that we can project many kinds of images on to give us an opportunity to do backdrops and things like that. We work with a lot of kids in letting them put on musical productions here. We've partnered with School of Rock and things like that. This is from a summer camp, just some of the girls from summer camp. Again, more musical productions. Mm-hmm. Our summer camps, we usually run about 7 a year and during the summer, and each one has a different theme. So some of those were from summer camps as well.
Now, what has happened since COVID has hit? Has everything changed how you operate there?
Yeah, COVID, as it did to everybody, kind of took us all and really made us think and refocus. We went from, like I said, we were in the middle of the production for The Little Mermaid. We had 60 kids and our doors were shuttered, and the next thing you know, we're doing online rehearsals. We're doing, trying to get that production to actually make it through. And realized at some point that no, we're just going to have to totally rethink the way we do everything. We started reaching out to the kids because we started noticing that the kids were having a difficult time not being in the building, not connecting. They stopped really kind of engaging in the online activities. So we started going out and doing personal connections, and we would bring different things to people's houses. We did a trick-or-treat bag around Halloween. We did hot cocoa bombs, and we would literally go and leave something in somebody's mailbox or ring the doorbell and do a socially distanced meeting and a check-in with people. We took our production and said, okay, we're not going to be able to finish it. So we brought the kids in one at a time and audio recorded them and ended up with a soundtrack of The Little Mermaid to give them at least something to take away as a final project. At that point in time, we were noticing kids just felt like left and right. They were having things taken away from them. They weren't being able to pursue the things that they wanted to do. So we didn't want to walk away from the project with nothing. So the best we could do at that point was an audio track. But we really took the time to look at the organization and try and figure out how we could better ourselves during the downtime. We revised our mission, we rebranded, we reached out to the community a lot to try and check in with them to see what their needs were, and spent a lot less time to kind of producing our theater and things like that, and took a time to reach out to the community and say, okay, what do the kids need? What does the community need? And we ended up doing a lot of online events in the beginning for entertainment purposes and just to keep up the connections. The kids, needed those connections. And then we found that parents were having a really difficult time. So we started doing online events like trivia and bingo and things for families. We did some for adults only, some for kids only. We took the time to create a youth advisory board. We currently have 25 kids who are coming and meeting with us at least once a month and telling us what it is that they're looking for, what it is they'd like to see, what we can do for them, giving them a voice. They've done a couple of activities. They needed to start doing some activities outside. So we did a hot cocoa bomb social outside. They just this weekend did a huge scavenger hunt throughout the whole town of Madison. They had like 100 people participating, running in all directions. It was like the Great Race. It was very, very fun. And I had over 30 kids volunteering the different stations. So we went through a lot of changes. We started, again, with the mostly online when everything was closed. Then we started to do hybrid, where we would offer in-person for a few people and then online for the others. We had a cupcake decorating workshop that we did that way and some other things. But basically, we just had to completely change. We had to completely change the way we did things, how we thought about things, and most importantly, how we funded, because our funding, we were self-sufficient, and everything came from our big events. They were kind of like our big fundraisers or our big theater productions. And we started offering free programs to everybody. All of our online stuff was free. It's always been in our mission to never turn anybody away for lack of the ability to pay. And we're very proud of that. We have never turned away anybody. We take a lot of kids in here who can't afford to pay. But that now we were in trouble. So now we had to focus on grant writing and partnering with the community and doing things like that. So it's been a big change.
Well, let's hold that thought. I'm Deborah Gilbert. You're tuned into Arts and Entertainment. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Keep on keeping on, baby. Keep on keeping on, yeah. You expect me to stop?
Thank you, Connecticut, for doing your part to stop the spread of COVID-19, for wearing your masks, washing your hands, and keeping your distance. So keep it up, Connecticut. We've come too far to go back.
Community TV, your neighborhood TV.
Publicly funded and a reliable partner for cable companies nationwide. It provides transparent coverage of local and state government, education, and public programming.
A digital town green that can be watched anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Watch us on today's high-tech distribution methods.
Community TV in Connecticut.
Local,
unfiltered,
reliable, and yours.
And welcome back to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host. Well, we're highlighting a fabulous location based in Madison, Connecticut, called the Madison Arts Barn. And Robyn Klaskin, the executive director, continues to be my guest today. And Robyn, we were talking about what things have happened since COVID. What I encountered in the write-up was the Mad Barn Productions, the theater portion of the barn. Do you deal with older individuals besides the youth there as well?
So we're focused on youth, but we're during COVID we've kind of expanded to include much more with families, and in fact now we're actually getting involved. We have we call them our Mad Barn Masters. We worked with some adults recently to put on a murder mystery online and used all adult actors to do that, which was a lot of fun and a great success. So we're incorporating people of all ages now, but we're mostly a youth center.
What we'd like to do now is show 2 videos of some of your productions. So let's take a moment and show them.
Okay.
Everyone's on and inspired by you, and it's not very hard to see why. No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's snack as incredibly thick as Gaston, for there's no man in town half as manly, perfect as your Canada. You can ask any topic or Cindy, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer.
Robyn, tell us what we were just watching right now.
So that was a clip from Beauty and the Beast. Those were kids in anywhere from, that was probably 5th grade to through the high school. And they're so much fun to work with, but they did a great job.
Okay, let's show our second clip. Go ahead, please.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, gather reflections one and all. Reflect what is on mind and heart, and let all reflections play their part. Woo! Oh, yeah, I feel like $1,000,000. Now, let's get to work, mirror. Somehow, some way, I must find Snow White.
And Robyn, go ahead. Tell us what we just saw right now.
So that is what has happened to our theater production, to our theater department post-COVID or during COVID. We went digital, and that was a production called Mirror, Mirror, and we used green screen and live streaming, and we've done now 2 productions where we can bring the kids in either individually to record their pieces or in very small groups, and then put it all together in a movie format or in live screen. The last production we did, we actually had like 6 different cameras going, and technology that is way beyond me, but was able to put it together for the people watching it to look like a performance that was being done in the same room, but all of our kids were socially distanced. So.
Well, we are starting to kind of come out of a COVID nightmare, but will you continue to do things online? Will your stage start to be used again in the near future?
So what we actually just had auditions this weekend, and we're starting rehearsals on Wednesday for our next production, which is going to be the off-Broadway show Puffs. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's kind of like a take on the retelling of the Harry Potter stories, but through the eyes of the Hufflepuffs. It was an off-Broadway production. So that cast is going to be 12 kids, and we're going to be doing that in person, but with the kids. But our audience probably will not be live. It will probably be live streamed. And we're hoping that as time goes on and things loosen up, we'll be able to start bringing people back into the barn to watch these productions. But what we have talked about and what we love is that we're going to continue to include the digital piece to this. We're going to continue to live stream events, even if we have an in-house audience, because what we realized is we had people from all over the country watching these kids, their grandparents, their extended family, and we're just opening up what these kids are doing to such a larger audience by using the technology. So that's, I think, going to be here to stay.
Why don't we talk now about the workshops? Tell us about that.
So we do workshops and summer camps that are themed. This summer we have workshops. We're going to be doing a musical theater audition masterclass where they can come in with like a monologue and 16 bars, and we'll teach a dance routine and kind of get people ready to get the role that they want in a musical. We're going to do Let's Make a Scene. That's more for the tech industry, people who are interested in kind of creating the magic that makes theater happen, creating a storm scene, things like that. We'll use special effects, fogs, lighting. We're doing a photography camp, a workshop, where kids will come in and learn the skills of taking good pictures, and then we print them out and mat them for them. And we're going to be doing a stand-up comedy thing, teaching kids how to write stand-up comedy. And comedian Kevin Flynn will be coming down here and helping the kids with that. Those are our workshops. They usually go 1 or 2 afternoons on a weekend or at night. But we're also going to be doing summer camps that go week-long, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And some of those that we're offering this year are film animation. And the kids produce several different animated shorts. We're doing a girl power camp to promote positivity and empowerment, and we're working with Madison Youth and Family Services to teach the kids some techniques and do some fun games and enjoy a week of just kind of holding each other up. We're doing some art camps. We're doing a Messapalooza for all those art projects your mom won't let you do at home because they're too messy. We're doing a hashtag art camp where we do trending DIYs and things that you see online. We're doing a theater camp, as we always do. This year it's going to be the trial of Goldilocks. She's trespassed, and there's a trial that will take place, and by the end of the week there will be a production put on for people, probably via live stream instead of having them in. We do a filmmaking camp. And we teach kids everything from creating the concept to actually a finished product, and they'll leave with some short films. And then we're doing, keeping in line with doing our Puffs play, we're doing Adventures in Wizarding, and it's going to be all things Harry Potter and everything from playing Quidditch to learning spells and creating magic. So we have a lot of different variety of things going on, and our camps are small. We do only 10 to 20 people in a camp, depending on what's going on, so they're very individualized. Kids get a lot of opportunity to really learn whatever the topic is, and that's what's coming up for the summer.
Well, one thing I want to touch on before we wind down this interview is the website. We probably have a lot of viewers that don't know about you that would like to know more. Tell us about what they would find when they come to and visit the website.
So on the website, we usually have everything that's coming up right away plastered on our homepage, but we have a page for theater, we have a page for summer camp, we have a page that for our youth group. We have a page that pretty much goes over all the different types of all the different segments of what we're doing and activities. You can find testimonials of people who have been through our programs. Some of them are from parents, some of them are from kids. We do a lot with mentoring, so I have a lot of older kids coming back and teaching younger kids or working in groups, and you'll see some testimonials from those people. A lot of people who've gone on to find their passion for the arts here and then gone on to go to school for it or found a career in it. It's very exciting to see how kids kind of find their way, through the different programs that we have.
Well, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. It's been wonderful, and I know my viewers have loved getting to know you and getting to know about the Madison Arts Barn.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, you've been tuned into Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert. Thanks so much for spending your day with me today. Greatly appreciate it. Have a super one. I'll see you next time.